You want to save your money for 3 reasons. Save your money for an emergency, save your money for a big purchase, like you want to buy a home or a car, or save your money for an investment. If you're not saving your money for one of these 3 reasons, don't be saving your money. Now, when we talk about saving your money for an emergency...
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
There's no other reason to save your money, because now you're just saving your money.
We're going to have to get into inflation, otherwise people are going to derail. But I also, let's start there. So why not save? That's all I was taught as a kid. Save, save, save.
Me too. So I grew up in a traditional Indian house where the whole idea of plan of becoming wealth, this is for me, was become a doctor. Why? Because doctors have a big status and doctors have a big salary. Now, when you make this big salary, what is the plan to become wealthy? Not by investing, not by doing some fancy stuff. It's by saving your money. Have a big bank account. So live small, live off of ideally 20 to 30% of your income, save the other 70%. And that might sound extreme, but this is the reality of what a healthy financial household looks like for an Indian doctor.
Was it for emergencies? Like what is the purpose of saving in that particular mindset?
So it's not for emergencies. It's literally just to build up a big savings account.
To pass on to your kids?
To pass on, to build wealth. So
I think be wealthy and live in a shoebox, like what is there, like, are they ever articulating why you're doing it? Like if I'd pressed her, what would she have said? You never know when you're going to need it. That's the only way to get rich. She would have said something like that. But if I had then pushed farther and said, okay, what's the point of being rich? Well, then you can do this, that, and the other. Well, not if I'm saving forever. I can't.
So I think it has to do with the times that somebody grew up in. So this save heavy culture is a big byproduct of my parents' culture. People who grew up, were born in the 60s, especially in India. So now, if you look at that time frame, where you look at before 1970 in India, it was a very tough time where poverty was very common. Most people were poor.
See, that I get. That's a protection against, I don't ever want to be hungry. I don't want my kids to be hungry.
But that mindset hasn't gone away. And so it just kind of trickles down, right? You see what you know. Because I personally, many of my friends are doctors. Many of my friends make a lot of money. Many of these people also have 0 investments and have huge bank accounts, because then you're beaten away from this idea of doing something risky like investing your money. Investing your money is dangerous. It's bad. Like when I wanted to invest in real estate, nobody in my family had ever heard of this concept of real estate investing. Either had I. Nobody I knew was an investor. So I told my dad, I want to invest in real estate. I found this condo for $8,000. I want to rent it out, blah, 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 blah. My dad's response was, you are stupid. Go become a doctor. Go do something worthwhile. And, he said it out of love. I love my dad.
Interesting.
But
did he really say worthwhile?
Yeah. Now, the reason why my dad was that extreme about it is, Indian parents have this thing where they like to create stories to scare someone away from doing something. And so, his whole thing was, what happens if your tenant doesn't pay you? What happens if you go to your tenant's door and then they shoot you because they don't want to pay you?
That escalated quickly.
This was the example that he gave me. And so it's just you start creating all these fears where it's like, if you invest in real estate, you might die. And that's supposed to scare you from not doing it. It's one of those things where it's this lack of financial education, lack of ever experiencing it, because you don't know that it's possible. You don't know anybody doing it. You don't know anybody that looks like you doing it. You're still new in this country. How are you supposed to go and do it? It's just very scary, where this is the safe thing is just saving money. If you save $100,000 today, and you look at your bank account a year from now, it's still going to be $100,000. Maybe a couple extra pennies if your bank is giving you some interest, but that's it. If you invest
so
$100,000,
why isn't that the best idea ever?
Well, going back to what you said, inflation. Inflation, by definition, is diluting the buying power of your dollar. So,
I thought this was a fundamental law of nature. It's really human intervention.
It really is. Inflation comes from the word inflate. What are you inflating when you have inflation? And it's funny, if you've been watching some of your content or my content, you know that you're inflating the monetary supply. When you increase the amount of dollars out there, without increasing the amount of wealth, the value of each individual dollar goes down.
You just broke brains. How do you increase money without increasing wealth?
So if I just print money, the Federal Reserve Bank, which is the central banking system of the United States, they have the ability to print money. They can increase the amount of physical dollars out there or increase the amount of currency through digital things. So the amount of money in circulation, they can increase this. And so if we go to a very basic example, if we live on a hypothetical world where there's me, you, and 3 other people, and each one of us 5, have $20 each, and that's it. We're each equally owners of 20% of this world's wealth. But what happens now if this new alien government comes in and then they magically gave us $20 more each? Are you going to be double as wealthy as you were before? You might feel like you are for a minute because you see, oh my God, I have $40. There's only $100 in this world. I have 40 now. And then you go and talk to your friends and you go shopping and you realize, oh, everybody has $40. So now all of a sudden the price of anything you want to buy is going to be double because you've increased the amount of currency in this case without increasing the actual wealth. And so this is where you kind of have to differentiate currency from money, because you have to kind of define what money is, because money can have a couple different definitions. It can be a store of value or it can be a means of exchange. And what I mean by that is money as a store of value. If you look at physical gold, for example, gold is your traditional store of value because it takes time, effort, and labor to mine physical gold. So that time, effort, and labor is represented through a physical gold bar, and that is the value, the physical gold. Now, if we compare that to something like our paper dollars, it's very easy to transact with. It's a very good means of exchange. Gold is difficult to transact with. If I wanted to go to McDonald's and buy something with some gold, it's going to be very hard to do that, versus with dollars, it's very easy to exchange. However, it can be easily manipulated because the Federal Reserve Bank can print money essentially on command. So they can increase the amount of dollars out there, which decreases the value of each individual dollar. So while our dollars serve as a very good means of exchange, it's not a very good store of value. This is where now what wealthy people do is they want real money. They want something that's not only going to store their value, but also hopefully increase in value. This is what assets do. If you look we hope, right? You invest in assets for the purpose of making money. How does it make money? By increasing the amount of value that it provides. When you invest in a company or an ETF or anything, you want to invest in something that you believe will be more valuable in the future. If you didn't believe that, you wouldn't put your money in there. How is it going to become more valuable? How is McDonald's or Amazon going to become more valuable? Their goal is to produce more value, to create something new that will provide more value to more customers, and then that value is represented through revenue, through profits, through money. So you're investing in something that you believe will produce more value. If you're enjoying this video and want to take your investing to the next level, I want to remind you that I put together a free investing masterclass where I walk you through how you can get started as an investor and find hidden investment opportunities before everybody else. It's a completely free masterclass, and when you register, you'll also get access to Market Briefs, which is my newsletter for investors, completely free, complimentary as a bonus. So if you want to get the investing masterclass and Market Briefs all for free, all you have to do is click the link down in the description below to get it. Same with real estate. You want to invest in an area that you believe will be a more desirable area. Because if you invest in an area where businesses are moving to, where people are moving to, where jobs are moving to, you own that land, you own that property, you own that building that is now more valuable because more people want to be here. And now that is represented through money, through this currency, where now more people want to be there, so now rents are higher, property values are higher. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.